What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of my March to Top 100 Road to Glory. And here we're going to continue our push to get promoted to D1 and win that D1 title, hopefully. And here we come up against La Liga Santander team with Luis Suarez, James Rodriguez, and Team of the Year PK. And here Suarez is easily through on goal after a through ball played in by, I believe, James Rodriguez, and he just slides that easily past my goalkeeper. And that's a theme you're going to see in this episode a lot. And I keep getting beat on through balls, and you'll see more of this game more throughout the episode. And there's just nothing I can really do about it with this new patch. I mean, I'm sure there is a large part that's down to me, but I notice a lot of it's down to my players too, because my players are just out of position. My center backs, I should say, they're just out of position and they're leaving their strikers wide open for the through ball. But there, Griezmann scores on his debut to make it 2-1. And he scores a beautiful goal too. He hits that far post, off the post and in. And this is the new team that you saw us build in the last episode. And we're testing it out, see how it goes. And here Ben Yedder, he's not through on goal, but he has a good chance. And he's able to slot that past De Gea. Bottom left corner of the goal. And here once again, this one I'm not going to complain about. That one was a perfectly timed run from Luis Suarez and a beautiful through ball into his feet. And he makes it 3-2 to my opponent. And here, this goal, I don't know what this goal is. This goal is just full of AIDS. De Gea hits it out from under PK's feet. He hits it straight to Aguero, and Aguero just has an easy goal, open goal to tap into. And it makes it 3-3 to us. Here, Conte finds Griezmann. Griezmann finds Aguero, who makes it 2 on his debut. Now, those kind of goals, I get super annoyed when they go in against me, because if you see how Griezmann was, he just turned around and kicked it almost aimlessly, and it finds Aguero perfectly for the goal. And here, we are not able to hold on to the lead. And Luis Suarez scores yet again for his hat-trick of the game. Or I believe that was his 4th goal to equalize 4-4. And here we had a great chance. Smalling with some great piece of defense. Fernandinho finds Aguero, and Aguero's through on goal. And here, I try to fake shot, do the still fake shot, so that way I could just pass it into Ben Yedder in the middle there for an easy goal. But Montoya, the informed Montoya, does brilliantly to tackle the ball off of Aguero. And we tie 4-4, so that means we're 4-3-1 in the division. And the likelihood of winning the title is not looking too good. And here we come up against a 5-in-the-back BPL team with Walcott playing center in the mid. And straight off the bat, he intercepts the ball off one of my players. And Jamie Vardy's through on goal. And Jamie Vardy tucks that into the bottom left corner beautifully. But here we continue our fight to get back into the game. And Ben Yedder, I don't know why he did that kind of shot. I told him, or I held B all the way and I aimed for the far post. And he decided to finesse it along the ground towards the goalkeeper. And once again, Ben Yedder slides instead of just putting his foot through it and possibly equalizing the match. And there you can see the match stats at halftime. I'm dominating my opponent. I feel like I do not deserve to be 1-0 down. And yet again, my opponent comes up here on the counter and he finds Vardy. And Vardy tucks that into the bottom underneath my goalie. And this game was super frustrating because this opponent parked the bus and he messaged me saying GG, and I didn't want to be the dickhead who gives him rage or gives him hate for playing the way he does. But he even told me that he's sorry for playing the way that he does because he sees a team like mine, and he said that Pogba was worth, half of Pogba is worth more than his full team. So in that aspect, I understand why he decides to play that way. But I mean, it's just, I don't get how this is enjoyable for him. And it's not enjoyable for me because you're just playing to hit someone on the counter. You're playing to hope something falls in your favor. But anyway, that's besides the point. We pick up a loss in that game. And here we're doing the bronze pack method. I did a lot of this at the beginning of FIFA, because once again, this is a mainly road to glory account, barring the $10-15 we spent. But I grinded a lot of the bronze path method in the beginning of FIFA. I also did a lot of trading with players. I would snipe them for lower than their buy now price, and I would list them up for their lowest buy now. That way I can make that profit. And I did a lot of that, especially when I was getting the SBC Raheem Sterling. I really grinded trading because I had no other way to afford that card, because it was pretty expensive for someone like me who doesn't spend money on this game. Who doesn't spend money on the game anymore. And at that time, I did not spend money. It was more like toward October, the mid-October, end of October, I started spending the $10 to $15 on the draft. And so, yeah, I did a lot of bronze pack method. I traded to get to that Sterling. And since then, the only other SBC that I've done was the Sun SBC. And that was really cheap to do. I think everyone had the opportunity to do that one because that one was really cheap. And EA should make the SBCs more like that Sun card because that was really cheap and affordable for everyone to get. But during the Christmas time, the Bellerinas, the Vidals, the Dybalas, the Aubameyangs, you pretty much had to sell your whole club if you're a first or if you're a Road to Glory account in order to afford those cards. And that's just ridiculous to me because once again, EA are rewarding the people who spend money on the game and they're not rewarding the people who don't spend money on the game. But when I say that, I want to make sure you guys understand that I do know that FUT Champs is a way to reward players who don't spend money on the game. But that still doesn't give them level playing field with the people who do spend money on the game. The problem with FIFA points, in my opinion, is that they took out coin selling because of the fact that it was creating an unbalanced playing field and because there was an influx of coins on the market because of the coin sellers. But FIFA points are very similar in that way because, those that do spend FIFA points are able to have more coins, able to pack better players, and therefore are above the opponents who don't spend money. So once again, there's still an uneven playing field in the game because of FIFA points. So that's my problem with FIFA points, and so that's why I'm just a little confused on why they decided to take out coin selling. But I mean, it makes sense in many ways. It's just that one aspect that it does make sense. But once again, we're granted that bronze pack method here, and I had a bunch of silvers left over from previous drafts that I played, random gold cards in my trade pile. And they were taking up a lot of space, so I couldn't open as many bronze packs as I would like. So I finally decided to list every single one up. I checked every price to see what they were going for. And some of them I got pretty lucky with. Like this silver here is going for 2,000 coins. And I believe there's another English silver towards the end that goes for about another 3,000 coins. And these fitness coaches or pace coaches, they actually go for 300 coins, 350 coins. So they're worth selling rather than discarding. And I definitely recommend you guys do this bronze pack method if you guys are struggling for coins, because it is a hassle to constantly list up your players over and over because they will not sell the first time around. You have to have the motivation and dedication to constantly be listing them up over and over because eventually they will sell and you will make profits off those 400 coins that you did spend. For example, I got a +1 FUT card. I believe that went for 800 coins. So that's 2 packs already paid for just in one pack. And that's not counting the other players and kits and balls that came in that same pack. So that bronze pack method is definitely worth the time that you put into it. And I know you guys are probably thinking, if I have about 242,000 coins right now, why am I bothering trading? Because I plan on buying the Inform Walcott at some point because I just started using his regular card and it's been amazing for me. So I can only imagine what the Inform would be like. So I'm going to try to fit him into my main team, but I'm still not done with my main team. I'm done testing it out before the weekend. So I'll let you guys know. You guys will see that in video if I do decide to go with the Inform Walcott. But we jump back into another game in divisions, and it is not going too well for us here. We're down 2-0. This guy had an insane team with George Best. I believe, I don't know his first name. I forgot his name, but he had a Clivert as well. And he had SBC Can, SBC Vidal. And that's just an incredible, incredible team. But we're able to pull it back to 2-1 after Raheem Sterling pulls it back for Anthony Martial. And Martial just taps it into an open net. And here Martial's on the attack once more. And he finds Nemanja Matic. Nemanja Matic pulls it back to Henderson. And Henderson just powers that into the top right of the net on a half volley. That is just a beautiful goal there. I know it's from only like 6 yards out, but the amount of power and the amount of accuracy he got on that was just beautiful. And we were able to equalize 2-2 after being 2-0 down. But here, he also had the SBC Hazard. The SBC Hazard is through, and he just tucks that beautifully into the bottom right corner. Those are honestly my favorite types of goals in FIFA, where they just open up their body like that, place it past the goalie. I don't know what it is about it, but I think it's just the animation looks so nice, looks so crisp. But here again, he's not done. He plays the 1-2 with Hazard and Best, and Hazard is through once again, and he drives that far post and makes it 4-2 to him. And at this point, we are not able to secure the title anymore. And after constantly relisting these players, they finally decided to sell that Allen. I relisted him like a good 5 times before he finally sold. And as you can see, there's still a lot of things that did not sell. So I just decided to relist them and hope they do sell this time around. But they probably won't. I don't think they did. But now that those other things sold, I have more space on the trade pile to open more bronze packs. So as you can see here, we're grinding it out again. We're checking each price of the player. You never know if one of these players are going to be worth something for current SBC or if they're just extinct on the market. And here, this jersey, I really like this jersey, so I decided to replace my red jersey with it. And I did list every single other item up on the trade pile. And the balls actually do sell. If you continue to list them, they'll sell for those 200 coins. The contracts I don't really think sell because, I mean, you could pay 200 for gold contracts, 300, 350 for the shiny gold contracts. So there's really no point in going out and spending 200 on a bronze contract. That's just a waste in my opinion. So I don't think other people would bother doing that too. And this right mid, he actually did sell. I remember him selling. He sold for the 200 coins. So players like him, you wouldn't think they sell because I'm not sure who would use them. But they do sell eventually. So, but guys, anyway, I'm not sure if the weekend league is going to be open this weekend because the no loss glitch and forced disconnect glitch are still going on in the game. So, and EA have yet to say anything about it, if they're working on it, if they're close to fixing the problem, finding a solution for the problem. So if I had to guess, I would say there's not going to be a weekend league again this weekend. And honestly, that's going to disappoint me because I really enjoy playing the weekend league. It's something that I do every weekend since November. Yeah, since the third week of November, I've been playing FUT Champs every single weekend. So if they're not going to be a FUT Champs again this weekend, I'm going to be really bummed out about it because I want to hit that top 100 for you guys. So that's just another weekend gone that we possibly could have hit the top 100. Probably not, but there's always that chance that we could hit it. But that's also another weekend lost that I could have been practicing and getting better for a future weekend league so I can hit top 100 in a future weekend league. I think EA just really, really needs to sort it out. They need to update their consumers more. They need to let us know what's going on with the game, how close they are. But they just keep to themselves until they have absolutely no choice to come out and say something. For example, the weekend league this past weekend, they came out, I think, the last day, a couple hours before the weekend league was supposed to open up, and they said it was canceled. So that's just another example of poor communication on EA's part. They really do need to improve that. But if there is no weekend league this week, I do understand because it's not fair to people who do play the weekend league to be robbed of wins because of a glitch that's on EA's hands. Say someone could possibly go 40-0, but someone decides to do the no loss glitch 2 or 3 times. That's 37-0. And with how competitive this qualifying month of FUT Champs is, every win does count because you want to get into those top 12 positions to get to regionals. So, yeah, but here you guys see me replacing Buffon with Marchetti because Marchetti has a long throw train. Buffon really was not cutting it out for me. He was letting silly chances, and it was time for me to go back to a keeper with long throw trait. And here, Marchetti had a good start to his debut at the club. He pulled off some good saves, and their Perisic was unlucky to hit the post and not finish. But Griezmann's the wrong goal here, and Griezmann tucks that to the bottom corner beautifully, and there's the hotline bling dance. I love doing that dance just because it's so entertaining to me how he actually does that in real life. But here, Icardi slides a past Marchetti, and just as I was saying Marchetti was doing good on his debut, he lets in that silly goal there. And that was just super frustrating to me because he was doing so well until the 45th minute, and that's when he went downhill. But here, Fernandinho finds Griezmann for the open net, and Griezmann's able to just tap it in. And once again, Icardi, he blasts that into the top left corner, and Marchetti's helpless against that shot. And this shot, how does Pogba, a 500,000 plus player, not put that chance away? And here he gets close once again with a beautifully struck free kick there from I think about 40 yards that was. But as you see, guys, we were relegated here. So now we're going to be back in D2, and in the next episode we'll be pushing back for promotion to D1 and hopefully the D1 title. So guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a sub and a follow, and I'll see you guys next time.